Okay, waiting for Facebook. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Keen Thomas from STEMwithKino.com. And I'd like to welcome you to the. Hold on one second. Getting messages here for questions. Okay. I'll reveal those questions again. And, okay. Okay, so again, guys, welcome to Aviation Selection Test Battery and OAR Weekly. We got started a little bit late. I apologize for that. I had a lot of stuff going on today, but we're here, and we're here to answer questions. If you have any questions, you can post them in the chat, or you can send them directly to KIENOTHOMAS at gmail.com. Oh, almost forgot my email address there, guys. Let me get this chat page up, and if you guys can hear me on Facebook land and YouTube land, please hit the one. Please hit the one if you guys can hear me. So we got a couple up in the Facebook side of things, and we got a couple so far in the on the YouTube side of things. So yeah, guys, if you guys are already connected to me, you can send me questions via Skype at KIENO.THOMAS. So let's dig in. I do a lot with the aviation guys, and I wanted to do a little bit more in this session concerning who, Kino? Concerning surface warfare officers. Okay. This comes from, and I've already posted the actual insignia for the surface warfare officer. Kiko, how are you doing? Good to see you here. Okay, we're talking about surface warfare officers. So yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you are following me, if you go to my page, you can actually see the. Hold on, let me talk to my computer really quick. Back. Facebook. All right, I'm not crazy. I'm talking to my computer, and my computer actually listens to my voice commands and it does certain searches. So yeah, I'm going to the page now, and I'm looking at the page, and you can actually see the surface warfare officer insignias. You see the video, and then you can actually see the insignia there. So I'm gonna place a comment in there. It's gonna be a little bit of a long comment, and I'm gonna hit enter. All right. So that should be posted. And if you're following me on YouTube, please hit the like button or dislike button. If you're with me on Facebook, then please like the video. It only takes a second, doesn't cost you a thing. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the surface warfare officer. All right. Well, we start talking about the actual insignia. We have the surface warfare officer. We have the enlisted. There's an enlisted surface warfare officer, silver colored badge. The surface warfare officer is more like it looks bronze compared to the silver and then the gold. You have the medical corps, the nurse corps, the dental corps. So they have medical, nurse, dental, medical service corps, and supply corps. So looks like there's a little heavier reliance on the medical, nurse, and dental corps, but we don't know how long. So, surface warfare insignia is a military badge of the United States Navy, which is issued to United States Navy personnel who are trained and qualified to perform duties aboard United States surface warships. There are presently four classes of the surface warfare, being that of line, staff, special operations, and enlisted. The line and enlisted surface warfare badges may be earned by United States Coast Guard personnel assigned to Navy commands. Various badge types are as follows. Okay, so you have the surface warfare officer, and you can see if you're looking at the picture, the top left one is the surface warfare officer. The one to the right of it and silver is the enlisted warfare officer. So if you're taking OAR or the aviation, the OAR, then this would not apply to you, the enlisted surface warfare officer, because you're going to an officer candidate school program, and so you will be commissioned. I'll talk about that a little bit, not later, but like in another video, because you have the commissioned officer ranks, then you have the warrant officer ranks, and then where you guys are enlisted, warrant officer, and then commissioned. All right. So that is the food chain, if you will. I don't mean to offend anybody if you guys are like upset. He said food chain. Everybody's a critic these days. So I'm gonna address specifically, and you can see in the, I guess I could. I can. All right. I'll put in the supply. Yeah. The Coast Guard has, they're not similar, I won't call them similar, but also on the page, I'm also going to put in some additional information. Paste. Okay. And you can see the other, okay. Did that push it down? Or, yeah, it did push it down. No worries. So you got to kind of read the bottom section first, and then it'll break down the other surface warfare officers. So we have the Nurse Corps, because it's Nurse Corps, how it's spelled, but it might be just pronounced Nurse Corps, Dental Corps, Supply Corps, possibly. Don't judge me on that. All right. So the surface warfare officer qualification is okay. The surface warfare officer insignia is the first milestone qualification an eligible commissioned officer may receive in surface warfare. This device is commonly called the SWO pin. Okay, so a lot of you guys, like your recruiters, talk to me, you going aviation or you going SWO? This would include the surface warfare officer category. Those receiving the pin must qualify as officer of the deck, both underway and in port, small boat officer, combat information center watch officer, and must be trained in shipboard engineering, naval history, and damage control. For further enterprise level training, officers will attend Surface Warfare Officer School, SWAS, in Newport, Rhode Island, between all sea tours. The Surface Warfare Officer badge is typically a prerequisite for tactical action officer training. Junior officers, especially ensigns, which is 01, that is the first rank you will receive after your commission, which is what some would refer to as butter bars or the gold single bar, assigned to surface warfare community are known as unqualified or non-quals until they receive qualification as a surface warfare officer and receive the SWO pin. Surface line personnel who are not yet qualified have the 1160 officer designators. Once qualified, they receive, 1160 officer designator. It's not a number, like total number. It's 1160 officer designator. Once qualified, they receive 1110 designator. Prior to 2018, junior officers were granted 18 months to qualify as surface warfare officers. Failing to do within the time period so it meant either separation from the service or applying to transfer to another warfare community. The collisions of USS John S. McCain and the USS Fitzgerald brought about a change in qualification standards. Unqualified junior officers now have no time limit to qualify within the 2 years of their first tour, and now must qualify solely before they transfer to their next command. Failing to qualify prevents the officer from transferring. Officers who are separated from the SWO community are known as SWO non-attains, and this designation is entered into the officer's permanent military record. The Surface Warfare Officer Pin was designed to depict the traditional and typical elements of naval service: waves breaking before the bow of a ship, overlaid on crossed U.S. Navy commissioned officers' swords, rendered in gold. The insignia was introduced in 1975. So you guys could see that and everything. So I'll tie it into kind of like my historical part. Aviation-wise, what I want to do aviation-wise, because I kind of do this for the hip for my ASTBE guys. I am going to be coming out with a video shortly, so stay tuned, and then I guess I'll go into questions because we started a little bit late anyway. But I'm going to be going into a video that you guys will need, so I need you guys to kind of keep your eyes open. You guys need to know deck shirt colors, okay? And so I'm going to be doing it should be a really cool tutorial, and then a catapult launch and all that and everything, because DCS did some updates and things. That's Digital Combat Simulator, and I think you guys will like it, and I'm telling you guys ahead of time, so when you see it, I would really like your feedback on what you guys think about the video. Is it helpful? Is it, you think it's something that is going to help you ramp yourself up for the test? All right. So there we have it. Okay, again, if you'd like to send me questions, you guys are going through your test prep books, and you don't man, I'm looking at this question, I don't know what the heck this means. We had one today. I'm gonna actually, and I do have some emails coming in. It's a distance, rate, and time related question. And let me just check Facebook. Okay. Making sure I'm not missing anything. Come back to YouTube. And guys, if you can hear me, I see the thumbs up. Please hit one on YouTube in YouTube land. Facebook has been confirmed as hearing me okay. So YouTube, I'm kind of looking for you guys to jump in. And I'm dropping stuff, but it's okay. All right, so one question that was like a little bit of a doozy for one of my guys that were prepping. I am actually going to, was this the guy? Yeah, this was the guy. So I'm not going to erase that. See, I was thinking ahead. I planned the whole thing. No, not really. Not really. Okay. Okay, also, keep in mind, another thing, I'm going to be coming up with another thing too. It's probably going to be a half-hour thing. America is going to slowly start getting back to work. They're already doing it because, states are opening in phases. And a lot of people there are millions of people in the unemployment category. And I know this is not ASTB related, but I do talk about other videos. Like, for instance, Thursday is my AFOQT day at 5 p.m. Eastern. Today is the ASTB Oar 5 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow is the United States Army SIF. I haven't picked which day it's going to be, but a lot of Americans are going back to work. They're going to be unemployed. And there are probably going to be some stimulus packages for them to train in other areas. For instance, like, I don't know, if you said you wanted to be what do they call it? Not C++ certification. Here's my point. There's money that's going to be available for training, but there's a test that you make to take. It's called the TABE test. That's like Tango Alpha Bravo Echo. Test of Adult Basic Education. Okay. I am actually a certified instructor in that because a lot of you have been in the workforce a long time and you haven't taken, math and reading comprehensions type stuff. And you guys, ASTB OAR, are kind of way above this. This is kind of like a really basic education level. So my point is this: when they say, okay, well, we got this money, we'll send you to school, there's a test, but you got to take this test, because if you don't score high enough on the test, then you're not going to be allowed to allotted that money for training. And, so let's look for that. Also, where was I going? Yeah, I was going to the question, guys. See? Where's Tom at when you need him? Keeps me on track. Shout out to you, Tom. And congratulations last week on your United States Army SIFT test. We want to hear lots of updates from you, so make sure you're coming back to the channel when you go to Fort Rucker about your check-in and all that and everything like that. All you guys, everybody that's on my channel, you guys that are going to officer candidate schools or your warrant officer flight training program, please, please, please come back to the channel. Even if it's not for checking out the channel, but to talk about your experiences and stuff like that. I encourage it, and you are free to post on it. I encourage it because we want to give the channel or the people that follow me, we want to let them know kind of some of the experiences that you're going through, some of the good stuff, some of the bad stuff. If it's bad stuff, don't just keep it positive, because as positive as you can. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a certain mindset. You're going into military training. They're not there to kind of baby you or hold your hand. You're there to really transform you into a soldier. So of course, there's going to be some growing pains associated with that. Okay. As I go along, I'm always, people are sending me questions, and I'm just kind of filtering them out to make sure that there are things that I haven't talked about in the past. All right. Boom. I'm looking for you. You're who I'm looking for. So I'd like to lead in by going into a distance, rate, and time problem. Distance, rate, and time problems are definitely on the menu for all you guys, whether you're AFOQT, ASTBE, OAR, or SIF. Distance, rate, and time is definitely on the menu when it comes to the test pool. I'm going to try to see if I can't post this in the chat. You just are not cooperating. I hope it doesn't double. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post this on the Facebook page because it looks like, boom, there we go. And I think what I'm going to have to do is verbally tell it to my Facebook people. Not Facebook, my YouTubers. It'd be nice if you could, during your chat at least post, but you can do that. But it's a little bit much. Okay, so I had an applicant, and I will read through the question. I had an applicant, and he basically, I might be able to, I'm always trying to go above and beyond so that my 11 hours every time. I don't believe I can get all this in, but for my YouTubers, I'm always thinking about you guys. I've been thinking about you. I can't sing, so he can't sing. You know this already. It just sometimes I'll, yeah. All right, so. All right. Here's the second half. Cut, push, paste, boom. All right, I got it all out there. Okay, so the YouTubers did not get left out. Okay, but you can see it in paragraph format, more of a picturesque format. And on the Facebook side of things. Okay, so here's our question. A fishing boat left Hawaii traveling 0.5 hours before a cruise ship. The cruise ship traveled in the opposite direction, going 12.5 kilometers per hour faster than the fishing boat for 11 hours, after which time the ships were 322 kilometers apart. What was the boat's fishing speed? Okay, anybody can answer this. I'll give you guys really, really quickly. Is this a delayed departure? Is this an expansion? Is this a round trip? What type of, because we need to identify the type of distance, rate, and time problem that we're dealing with. And anybody can type that in. Jeopardy music. Okay, you guys can expansion. Drew in the house. Thank you very much. So an expansion occurs when you have two vehicles starting for, or not just two vehicles, but two people, places, or things going in opposite directions. We can see opposite directions. So we talked about the fishing boat, FB. All right, and the other is a cruise ship. I'll put CS. Okay, so for the expansion, my rapid formula is rate times time plus rate times time equals the distance. Now, typically what they will ask you is, how long is it going to take the guys to get a certain distance away from each other? All right. And normally you're looking for the time. That is normally the unknown. Still going to be the unknown in this case. But my point is this. The rate times time of the fishing boat plus the rate times time of the cruise ship is equal to that distance. This time is unknown. Now, every now and then we have to make an adjustment. So here's how it goes. The fishing boat left Hawaii traveling west, 0.5, which is 30 minutes, or 0.5 hours. So what I always do is I'll put 0.5 plus, which tells me, okay, the fishing boat got a head start. That's why that fishing boat is getting a half hour of extra time, but we're going to have to add more time to the fishing boat. The cruise ship traveled in the opposite direction, expansion, traveling in the opposite direction, going 12.5 kilometers per hour faster. So that would make the fishing boat's rate X, and this guy X plus 12.5. 12.5 kilometers per hour faster. You have to read every line and you have to diagram. Then the fishing boat for 11 hours. So that's a dead giveaway on the time, and we add that time to this guy. So 11.5 equals 322, and I did erase it. I just thought about that. I erased it. It's all good. I can do it again. So this is not algebraically friendly. Ice cream truck, guys. 11.5x plus 11 times x plus 12.5 is equal to 322 kilometers. This is algebraically friendly because 11 is going to distribute into the parentheses. Okay, so we will have 11.5x ray plus 11x. 11 times x is 11x. And then we have 12.5 times 11 times 11. Now watch this, guys. There's just ones down there. So it's going to be 125, 125, 0, 125. 137.5. See how quick that was, guys? A lot of rapid math techniques you learn here. If I can pronounce my words, 137.5 equals 322. So now we need to combine like terms, and they'll say, oh, you got to subtract 137.5 from both sides. I don't say that. In my head, in my mind, this number jumps the equal sign and just changes its sign. So we'll have 22.5x is equal to 322 minus 137.5. Now, a lot of you guys have been using calculators for decades, and you don't calculate by hand so well, all right, or calculate manually so well. So this is something you're just going to simply have to get over for testing. It's not going away. The Air Force doesn't care, the Navy doesn't care, the Marine Corps doesn't care, the Army doesn't care, and the Coast Guard doesn't care. I think I got everybody. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, yeah, everybody. They don't care. You're going to have to do this. You're going to be an officer. You're going to have to be smart. Ooh, Drew in the house. Okay. 8.2. Hey, man, wait next time, man. I didn't get to that part. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to subtract 137.5 from 322, and we're going to divide by 22.5. There is another issue. Okay, so first off, you guys haven't calculated by hand in a while, so 322.0 minus 137.5. You can't subtract 5 from 0. We slash here, drop a 1, that becomes a 5. Can't subtract 7 from 1, slash here, 1 there. So the previous number is taking energy from the other one. And then boom, 2, 11, 8, 184.5. So 2.5 x-ray is equal to 184.5. And then we need to divide. Okay, which brings us to Drew's answer. Thank you, Christopher. Good to see you, buddy. So when we get here, we're going to be in a division situation where we'll have 22.5 and we'll have 184.5. Now, this is an issue. We cannot have this decimal hanging out here, so we'll move this over 1 and we'll move this over 1. Whatever we do outside of the house, we have to do inside of the house. All right. So 225 will not go into 1, won't go into 18, won't go into 4, but it will go into 1845. And I'm eyeballing it like 200 times 6 is around 1800, so I would use 8. 225 times 8 is going to be 1800. That was a good year. Wasn't even around in 1800s. I mean, I'm old, but not that old. Decimals here, 8 goes there. Now you add a 0 and drop a 0, and you ask yourself how many times can 225 go into 450? I'm eyeballing it. 200 times 2 is 400, and 25 times 2 is 50, so 450. So 0.2. 450 completes the division. We have nothing remaining, so x is equal to 8.2 kilometers per hour, probably. Always use your units, and be advised there have been testing situations. Cool, Drew. Thanks for checking in, though. I appreciate it. There have been times when they'll have 8.2 miles per hour, 8.2 kilometers per hour, 8.2 meters per second, and you hit that answer, and you're wrong all day long. I should make that a shirt. Wrong all day long. And that's what we don't want to be. Okay, I see Robert Blue in the check-in. George Delgado in the check-in. Mr. Blue and Mr. Delgado, thank you for checking in. And George, I will be in touch. I got your message earlier, and I actually responded to it. Okay. All right. Okay. So, the thing with distance, rate, and time problems, establish what type you have, then establish the formula. Then it's just plug in the blanks, or fill in the blanks. There's really not a whole heck of a lot to it. And they're surprisingly easy, but you guys just have to practice different types, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. You guys have been using calculators for years and years and years. It's like they teach you the math, then they give you some technology where you don't have to use the math, and then you're right back here to square one, relearning it. So talk to your younger siblings and cousins and all that stuff. If they're planning to follow in your footsteps, tell them, look, just start working with math by hand now. And don't forget that your Reader's Digest for your vocabulary building. Very, very important. Okay. Did everybody understand what I did in that question? Hit 3 in the chat on Facebook and YouTube if you understood what happened here, what took place here. If there's any kind of, dude, I didn't get that, man, where you subtracted to negative, how you subtracted 137.5 minus 322. I'll give it a couple seconds. If I don't see any responses, then I will just move on. Again, I'm Keno Thomas with STEMwithKeno.com. And I thank each and every one of you for just coming out. And the way that you get the most out of this is you go into your book, you read, like, man, I don't understand that. Because nobody is running through that whole book and understands everything. No, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Unless they're me. But I'm a super nerd. Hey. I live on the math. All right. Let's talk about something mechanical. Another type of question that has been stumping people that I see a lot when I kind of throw it up, and I will find you in a minute. This is concerning mechanical comprehension. If you are taking the SIFT, the Aviation Selection Test Battery, or the OAR, you will be required to have a good working knowledge of mechanical comprehension. That is the wrong side, Kino. I was going to say, what you mean error? What you mean? Didn't sound like one of them videos. Okay, and that was not the... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, this is something that I got earlier, and there are three classes of lever systems. Sound like there are three classes of lever systems. It sound like a commercial. There are three classes of lever systems. All right, so let's come on over to STEM with Kino. Paste and post. Okay. So if you're following me on Facebook, you can see on the page, on the STEMwithKino.com page, there is a picture of a human arm. There are three classes of lever systems. Okay, let's go into those. Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. Now, this is for my mechanical comprehension folks. I know I've talked about this, classes of lever systems, but I want to talk about how it relates as this picture. So, the Class 1 lever system. You have the fulcrum in the middle. It's like a seesaw. We probably all played on seesaws, or in some countries they call them teeter-totters. But seesaws, we had a kid here and a kid there. But one would be considered the load side. And notice how I place a vector there to show you which direction that the force is going. So let's just call that a load and an effort. Or we call it resistance, I guess. But we have two forces acting downward, and then there's a balance point in the middle. If we split this with what we call the fulcrum right in the middle, the board or plank shall balance. It should balance if it's specifically in the middle, because you'll have the same weight on that side as that side, and it'll just kind of settle. Class 2. In the Class 2 situation, the fulcrum is on one side. You have the load, and you have the effort there, and it's being exerted upward. Now, note where the fulcrum is and the positions of the load and the effort. The best example of a seesaw or teeter-totter is the best example of the Class 1 is the seesaw or teeter-totter. The best example of a Class 2 is, and let me just check something out. Make sure, okay, my Facebook people see. Y'all don't need to see me, y'all need to see the board, because I'm about to go into Class 3. So, in the Class 3 lever system, 1, 2, 3, the fulcrum is on one side still, but the effort and the load, I'm making it a little bit shorter there, has changed positions. Okay, so that is the only thing. So, in the question that is posted on the Facebook page, you see an arm, a human arm, not a real human arm, guys, but a picture of a human arm. The arm, or the human arm as depicted below, is an example of a first-class lever, a second-class lever, a third-class lever, a second and third-class lever, or a first and second-class lever. I think we should throw D and E away, because I started out by saying there's only three classes. So, person's holding, looks like an aerosol can, and you can see his or her bones. So I'm just kind of boom, and then you have the hands, the bones in the hands extended, and they're holding on to something. Okay, so they're asking you, is this a first-class lever, a second-class lever, or a third? My YouTubers. Now, you can see the muscle tissue in here, and they have a little depiction, and it says muscles apply effort to forearm. So this muscle bicep is flexing, but the forearm muscles are going to be the ones that flex, all right, because they're connected. All right. And then they also tell you that the elbow is the fulcrum. The elbow is the fulcrum, so picture this guy here. Muscles, biceps, flex, and supply effort upward. So that means gravity can be acting downward. Load, effort, fulcrum. Show of clicks. Who, what type? I want. If you think it's a class A lever system, class 1, not class A, click 1. If you think it's a class 2, click 2. And if you think it's class 3, click 3, family. I'll wait. Rough day, guys. It's like, you're not supposed to yawn in a video, my trolls. You're supposed to yawn in a video. It's totally unprofessional. Even if I was a newscaster, I'd be like, oh. I'll be on tonight's news. Oh. No, I wouldn't do that. Or I try to, you can kind of suppress your yawn. I'm like, yeah. All right. Okay, Christopher. Not a problem. It was good to see you earlier. All right. Okay, so it is the third class lever system. Know where the fulcrum is. Notice where the effort is in the middle, and notice that the load is there. So the effort is surrounded by the load and the fulcrum, and the load and fulcrum on opposite sides of the effort. Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. It's 5:52. Well, I did start late, but yeah. So, any quick questions before we conclude this live stream? Somebody's gonna come up with something. I know it. Guys always do, like, yeah, so yeah, I'm about to wrap up and everything like that. Yeah, Keno, man, what is the scientific number for 1,300,909,999? Repeating. Okay, so, I'll do my inch spiel like I always do. Most people are not prepared for this test. I recommend that you guys find someone with a proven track record, a tutor with a proven track record. I'm talking about myself, I guess. That was kind of arrogant. I'm sorry, guys. But my point is this. Find somebody that's qualified to prepare you for this test. Doesn't have to be me. There are tons of tutors out there. Especially in this CV age that we're in, or this phase that our country is in. So, for aviation selection test battery, guys, if that particular tutor is not a pilot, do not. I'm trying to stop being so negative. Ask questions. There you go. Ask questions. Because if they don't have any knowledge of aviation in the industry, stuff like that, it's just like, okay, it's just gonna read to you what's in the book. Be like, an airfoil is, you think like, oh yeah, I'm really preparing, and So I'm finishing another book. Barron's is the first one I endorsed. So all you guys are out there, yeah, Keno, man, I watch all your videos. Okay, you guys know that this guy is the first one I endorsed. I like Barron's, and I think that it is really, really representative of the test. I'm not going to go into percentage numbers or anything like that, but I'm going to start. The second one that's feeling really, really good to me is the dummies, OAR for dummies. I think that they did a really, really good job. I'm not completely finished reading through the whole entire thing, but so far it's looking good. And maybe in like a month or so, because everything's going crazy. I remember I used to have like hours and hours free all the time. Not so much anymore. But yeah, I'll be coming up with that endorsement pretty soon. I believe like within 4 weeks or so to kind of give you guys the full rundown, because I want to make sure that you guys are out there purchasing the proper books, and not books that have errors and that are misleading you until the next edition. By the time you will have taken the test already. So what's the point? Also, look forward to that video, my aviation people. Yeah, I think for my ASTB guys, and I'm waiting on some stuff for the Army, for the Army. But yeah, I'm going to be doing more and more videos for everybody, for the Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, all that stuff like that. Because there's also Coast Guard aviation. I think they are primarily helicopters, but then they do have some fixed wing aircraft. Congratulations to Joe. Yeah. Joe Marlowe, I'm going to say your name. If you're upset with me about this, I apologize, but I'm just congratulating you, my brother. Joe received his certified flight instructor instrument rating. You can be a certified flight instructor and you can teach private pilots, and I think you can do commercial maneuvers. It's been a long time since I was an active instructor. I just kind of pay attention to the flying regulations. So all the nuances and stuff like that go into the Federal Aviation Administration information. I'm kind of not as privy. Like I told Joe, this is the best pilot you will ever be. Yeah, congrats to Joe Marlowe. He's a friend of the channel. He's a friend of the channel. That's what I'm going to do. That's like the mafia thing. He's a friend of ours. Okay, so not a friend of ours like that, but he's a friend of the channel. He obtained his federal aviation, and I think the regs call it an authorized flight instructor, but CFI is what we've been calling it forever. So that's what we'll call it now. So he is actually trained or authorized to teach pilots how to fly in bad weather. And that is some of the greatest, most rewarding. Because most people are scared of IFR. They're scared of it, scared to death. Like, oh my God, man, like 1,000 overcast. And if you are properly trained and trained how to operate under instrument flight rules, which I'm pretty sure Joe is going to be an awesome instructor, because he's an awesome student. And so that will translate him into an awesome teacher, I'm sure. But I just wanted to congratulate you for that. And it's not aviation selection test battery OAR related, but he's just going another ladder rung up. And I accidentally, I told him my age because, some of these FAA exams now, it's upwards over $100. I think I paid $40 back in the day for my FAA written, for my private pilot certificate. It's like 40. Now you're like over 100. It's like, wow. It's a good thing I will never be trying to pursue the upgrade or something like that. I mean, I could be issued a type rating, but, that's just kind of an endorsement type related stuff. It's not actually going to take a written exam, i.e. private pilot, instrument pilot, commercial pilot, or CFI initial instructor. And while you're sharp, if you wanted to, and it wouldn't take much. These tests are so expensive now. But what I did was they weren't these big crazy prices, and I did all my ground instructor ratings as well because I'd already been in the regs like crazy as an instructor. So I'm like, damn, I know all the regs and the procedures and stuff. I might as well take this test. So I knocked out the basic ground instructor, advanced ground instructor, and instrument ground instructor. So just something to think about if you want to just add that to your resume. Okay, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Robert, I see you. Kiko, I see you. George, I see you. And some of you guys aren't in the one, man. Y'all not plugging it in. I can't holla at y'all. Christopher, I saw you. Drew, I saw you as well. So, whoever came in and, hopefully you hit the like button or you hit the follow button on Facebook. I thank you guys for taking time out to check out the video. Tell people, I'm like the best kept secret. If you're prepared, for the OAR, or the Aviation Selection Test Battery, you come here with your book, and you can, and I'm just, and YouTubers, see you later. Thanks for coming out.